Hi, I'm Molly, and today we're going to be working on writing the equation of the line through two given points. So for today's example, we're going to be trying to find the equation of this line here, and we can see it's crossing exactly through these two given points. So when we're talking about equations of lines, most often they're written in what's called the slope-intercept format, or the y equals mx plus b format. So in order to come up with the equation for this line, there are two things we need to know. First, we need to know what the m value is, and what that tells us is the slope of the line, or how steep the line is. Second thing we're going to need to figure out is what our b value is, and our b value is the y-intercept of the line, which is telling us where our line is going to cross the y-axis at. So we'll start by determining what our m value, or our slope, is. So again, the slope of the line is how steep it is, and it's the ratio of the vertical change in the line to the horizontal change in the line. Oftentimes this is referred to as the rise over the run. So if we take a look at our line and the 2 points it's crossing through, if I were to start at this point furthest left and work my way to the second point, to do that I would have to go up 4 units and then over 10 units to get to that second point. So that's telling us that our vertical change would be 4 and our horizontal change would be 10. So I can go ahead and say that our rise, or our vertical change, was 4. And our run, or our horizontal change, would be 10. Just like with any fraction, anytime we can simplify, we do want to do that. So here we can simplify by dividing both the top and bottom by 2. And after doing that, we would end up with a slope of 2/5. So now we can at least start writing our equation now that we know our slope, or our m value. So we know our equation is going to start out y equals 2/5 x plus b. So last thing we're going to need to figure out is our b value, or the y-intercept of our line, where it's crossing the y-axis. If we take a look at this graph, I can see it's crossing somewhere between -1 and -2, but we can't tell the exact point it's crossing. So what we can do is use the coordinates of either of these 2 points along with our equation to help determine our b value. So I'm going to go ahead and use the point 6, 1. So we know again our equation is starting out y equals 2/5 x plus b. And we also know the equation is crossing through the point 6, 1. So remember, with any ordered pair, our first number is our x value, our second number is our y value. So I can go ahead and substitute 6 into the equation for x, and 1 into the equation for y. And now the only variable we have left is b. So I'm going to solve for b. First thing we need to do is some simplifying here on the right side. I'm going to go ahead and multiply. 2 times 6 would be 12. So we have 12/5 plus b. Now we want to get b all by itself, which means I want to get rid of this 12/5. Since it's positive 12/5, if I were to subtract 12/5, that would equal 0, and then we wouldn't have anything left on that side except b. Remember, when we're solving equations, anything we do to one side, we're going to do the same to the other side. So if we're going to subtract 12/5 from the right side, then we also need to subtract 12/5 from the left side. So on our left side, we have the 1 we started with minus 12/5. And on the right side, only thing we had left was b, which is what we wanted to have happen. So now, in order to subtract these two fractions, we're going to need a common denominator. Our one fraction has 5 for a denominator. So what I want to do is go ahead and rewrite the 1 so that it also has a denominator of 5. So 1 we could rewrite as 5/5, 5 over 5. And now that we have the same denominator, we're ready to subtract. So 5 minus 12 would be -7. And keep the 5 on the bottom. So we now know b equals -7/5. And now we can go ahead and complete our equation. So we know our equation is going to be y equals 2/5 x minus 7/5. So again, that would be the equation that would correspond to this line.